is going on, people? What's going on, everyone? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're listening to us from. Welcome back to another episode of the Coolest Yanks podcast. This is your boy Logan.
What's going on, y'all? It's Jake.
What's going on? It's Sling.
Beautiful afternoon here in Florida. Beautiful afternoon over there in Mississippi, Sling.
No, it's actually it's pretty rainy.
Okay,
it was nice and humid when I was moving my shit out of my apartment.
Oh, it's nice and humid in this apartment. That's for sure.
The whole AC is not working, and it's hotter than Satan's fucking crotch in here. So
thank God this isn't happening in July, or else this would have been fucking miserable.
Yeah,
but
should probably fix it then if it's not working.
All right. Oh yeah, would you like me to fucking bang it with a hammer? I don't know how to do that shit.
And put in some hard American work and start fixing that shit. All right.
Oh, okay. I'll put in some hard work, baby, on my hands and knees.
Fail no power tools.
How y'all boys feeling this afternoon?
Fucking hot as shit. I don't know. What did I do this weekend?
Hey, we're finished. Well, Sling's done with school. We're done with school for the year.
I got one exam.
Oh, you have one left?
I've been putting it off because it's due on the 4th. I got to do it either tonight or tomorrow morning. But after that, done with the semester. Fuck all that.
Yeah, I'm officially a college graduate as of Thursday. So
adult time. Time to become a responsible adult, Sling.
Find a stupid job and make stupid money and live in a stupid house or apartment and be a stupid adult.
Yeah, probably start a stupid family eventually and live a stupid life.
And then have a stupid death.
Yeah.
Have some stupid kids. Oh, well.
Well, I mean, that's a given. Genetics.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways.
Okay.
Anyways, besides graduation, what'd you get into this weekekend? Keep it PG.
The family was in town, so got to see them for a little bit.
Oh, they came in for graduation?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You went out with the family, didn't you? You don't need to share that with don't need to share that with the podcast.
No, I can share. I took the old man to the bar. He was creeping on some young girls.
Oh, my God.
Not like a...
Oh, I didn't tell you about that?
No, yes. You did. But I don't know if we need to tell the pod that, but...
No, it's all right.
It didn't cross a line, but it was getting kind of...
They were at least 18.
They were definitely at least 18.
Yeah.
They were college girls.
Easy.
But it's just...
It wasn't any, illegal shit going on. Just, kind of, a little bit weird behavior.
She's bad.
It's like, yo, you're 50 years old. Stop trying to hit on 20-year-olds.
You take 18, you multiply it by 2. That's about...
You're basically at 50.
That's about how much older my dad is than those girls. So... Yeah, it was pretty gross, but it was fun.
He was just showing me that he still has game. That's all it is.
I mean, he kept on trying to buy girls drinks and stuff. I think he was just trying to flex, but
he's becoming a sugar daddy, trying to.
They've had enough of the young calf. Now they want the old bull.
Yeah, I just think he was down bad and horny and wanted something. I don't know. Wanted to kiss the baby before he left town.
Nice. He came to the city with a fucking mission in mind, and it wasn't to watch you graduate. It was
with the mission that he was going to have.
That was a side quest to watch our son graduate.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know if this is what we expected to kick the pod off, but what we're going to move into now, before we get into the Big Six review, is a Man United protest over the weekend. I was watching the Arsenal game, and by the way, NBC can literally fuck off.
Ligma.
Because we're over here sitting watching the Arsenal game, the Arsenal broadcast, and they keep panning picture in picture to the protests happening at Man United. And so apparently they had thousands of people outside protesting the Glazers before their game against Liverpool yesterday. Kind of like how last weekend against Everton, Arsenal fans were outside the stadium protesting the Cronkies. But the main difference and the key difference in this one is that they were able to somehow, hundreds of them were able to break into the stadium, break into Old Trafford. They got into the stands. They were on the pitch. They had flares going off and everything. They were shouting at I don't even think any of the owners or people were there. They were shouting at the media. I think Sky Sports was there. That looked like where they were directing their anger towards, which maybe they're just trying to, direct your anger towards the news media that can send your message through. But they broke in, then they got them off the pitch, and then they broke back in again. Then they were back on the pitch again with flares. I saw some people were on there literally just like they had like soccer balls just kicking the ball around, like scoring goals and shit, taking pictures, taking videos. Some of them, I don't really know if a lot of them were there to really or they might have been there to protest, but I think they really enjoyed the fact that they were able to get some bangers on Old Trafford's pitch.
Random people on like the streets are like, "Hey, you want to come protest with us?" They're like, "No, but we'll come play some soccer or some football on the pitch. Why not?"
I'm trying to play a fucking game. We're gonna go protest, but let's have like a game on the side. But yeah, no, they broke in and eventually they had to call off the game because it was just too crazy. There was too many people protesting. They said there was also people protesting outside of the hotel that United players stay at every single night before home games, and so they couldn't even get the buses out of the hotel, I believe, to get them to the stadium. And there was blockages at the stadium. And then obviously after the protests on the pitch and everything, there was flares, there was debris everywhere, and so it was too close to game time, and they had to just call off the game altogether. So that was something I wasn't expecting. Obviously, we know that there's certain circumstances that happened this past weekend. Man City could have been crowned champions, but one of those circumstances would have been that Man United had to lose. So maybe their fans just wanted to do that shit on purpose. That way they couldn't let City win the title this week and had to prolong it a little bit. But no, in all seriousness, they're very upset with their owners. United 7, 8, 9 years ago when Sir Alex Ferguson retired, they've kind of started to go down the tubes, although it seems like they're doing better in second this season, but they're still not winning the trophies. They're not winning league titles. They're not winning Champions Leagues. They've won like a Europa League and they've won a couple of FA Cup finals since he's left, but nothing else to show for it. And for a massive club, one of the biggest clubs in the world, the biggest club in England, like that, it's just not good enough. And then I think the whole Super League debacle kind of pushed them over the edge, and they definitely got their voices heard. How do y'all feel about them though? Like breaking and entering, they're on some U.S. Capitol type shit.
Yeah, that's like, dude, European football is on another level, man.
They're
especially like coming in just shooting off fucking flares and shit. Like if that happened,
they said that like when they first broke in, they heard like a loud explosion. Like I don't know if that was a flare or if like somebody legit had a fucking bomb or some shit.
People would have been dying in the United States.
Yeah, police would have been shooting.
Pipe bombs and C4 and shit casually to get into the gates. Just like fuck this.
But I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of funny because they had like security and stewards inside, and they were just watching. Like they weren't doing anything. They're like, "Nah, fuck this."
Stewards doing the T-pose, don't go on to the pitch, and then just running right by him.
Yeah, they were just kind of watching and looking at people. They weren't doing shit, and then eventually they got the cops in there. Whoa. But actually, I saw them get the cops in there. There was only like 4 or 5 cops for like the hundreds of people, at least from what I saw on the
you
on the
bust
TV.
A few caps off, dude. Those 100 people are gonna scatter.
Dude, I don't even know. Can policemen and like do they have firearms on them in England?
The cops?
Yeah, they have to, don't they?
They use like English muffins and shit and just throw them at them.
Muskets and shit. No, they got muskets. Put the knife down, bro. Put the fucking knife down, mate. Don't take the piss here, innit?
He takes one shot. He's like, reloading.
It's gonna get bloody, isn't it?
We just lost several English listeners that listen to this podcast.
Like, fuck these guys.
Fuck these Americans.
No. We're just taking the piss, y'all. Don't take it serious.
Yeah, but so there was only like 4 or 5 police officers that walked in, and like at first the fans were like, "Oh shit, it's the police," and they realized there was only 4 or 5 of them. They're like, "All right, fuck it, we're just going back onto the pitch. They're not gonna do shit." And so that happened. Eventually, they did get him off the pitch, but it was too late in regards to the kickoff time and playing the game that day. But yeah, I thought that was kind of wild seeing him on the pitch. Like I said, fuck NBC Sports, because literally only about half of that Arsenal and Newcastle game was covered and like on the full screen with commentating. The other half was, and I love Rebecca Lowe, but just her talking about the protest at the stadium. But yeah, they broke in. Maybe Arsenal fans can do that next. I don't know how I feel about it though.
I think they should do that in the U.S. too. Like if they want to protest, like how like
they will get shot.
The Broncos want Aaron Rodgers right now. I think at the first game, the Broncos should Broncos fans should just break into the stadium and just set it on fire. Just be like, yeah, we want Aaron Rodgers.
I feel like then he just won't want to come because y'all don't have a fucking stadium.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
All right, let's be honest though.
In England. Don't set.
I feel like you won't want to come anyways because y'all are fucking poverty. So
I think we're better than Dolphins, but
I mean that's just wrong. It's just unequivocally false.
Last year.
Oh no! Wow, it was your Super Bowl. We still won 10 games. Y'all won what? Like 3? This is wrong football, kid.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah,
going off track.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, anyways, just wanted to touch on that before we get into the Big Six review, because obviously one of our games to review was that Liverpool and United game, but we won't be reviewing that now because of the protests. And I wonder when they'll make that up, because especially with United being in the Europa League, there's like a real big busy schedule between now and the end of the season. Like I'm pretty sure I want to say they play every weekend and then every week. So I'm wondering when they'll be able to get that rematch back in. So
I doubt it's going to count for anything in the end, but
I mean, Liverpool are kind of battling for that top four, for the top four spots.
For Liverpool, but Man United's not going to.
Well, I say that though, but even if they win, they're still going to be 1 point behind West Ham, who are 3 points behind Chelsea. So, yeah, I don't know. Probably doesn't have much to do with it.
In the end, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, they tried so hard, but didn't get so far. All right, let's move into that Big Six review. We're going to start in the Champions League. And we are going to start with Jake's Blues.
Yes, sir. So,
I don't know. He's not going to respond. He knows the joke. All right, let's move along.
All right, move along. But yeah, anyways, Chelsea goes into Spain, and I did say that we were going to go in and we were going to beat them. We didn't. We ended up drawing. But I will take a draw going into Spain against, why am I drawing a blank? Oh, Real Madrid. I don't know why I was thinking Manchester, probably because we were just talking about them.
Yeah, and they are in England.
Yeah, that's right. But anyways, we go in and get the draw against Real Madrid. We ended up opening up the scoring with our boy, Pull a who?
Pull a goat.
Pull a what?
Pull a blood clot sick.
Pull a blood clot sick.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, my man fucking broke down the Real Madrid defense. Was making Courtois look
Courtois packing.
Making him fall. Hashtag Chicha on Tim Howard. But he fucking slotted away.
Giovanni Dos Santos.
Dos Santos on Tim Howard. I always think it's Chicha. Fuck him too. But anyways, puts it through past two defenders. And I'm tired of hearing this fucking Pulisic slander because I don't get why it's still fucking happening. I've literally backed this man since day one, knew what he brought to the table, and I'm not fucking.
No, obviously Chelsea just bought him to sell shirts in the U.S. That's just a publicity stunt.
And then, but yeah, no, the game was pretty even. Honestly, we had the better chances. Possession was pretty even. They did have one really good goal. Karim Benzema had a nice controlled pass off of a corner and slotted it away. It was off of 2 flick-on headers, which is kind of annoying, but it was good execution by them. And then I want to talk about fucking Timo.
Yeah,
I am fucking sick and tired of that German. I
have to say, why don't y'all start Havertz instead of Timo?
That's a great question.
If Havertz doesn't start this second leg, then I think Tuchel might either Werner has nudes of Tuchel and he's using it against him, or that's his love child or something.
Here's my thing.
Sleeping with him
because they're both German, so it's not he just wants to play the German dude.
Well, yeah, but so Pulisic had his little downward slope and he got benched. Kai Havertz didn't promote himself much with some good appearances and he got benched. When is it going to be time for fucking Timo to get benched?
Good question.
He's not fucking putting away shit that he should be putting away 9 times out of 10 at least.
Yeah, and people can talk about, he makes good runs and he'll get some assists, but if you look at his goal and assist for RB Leipzig last season, it was 44, and he's playing in a better team now with Chelsea with better players around him. I think his goals and assists this season across all competitions is barely 20. Now the season's almost over.
I think it's 24, something like that.
Okay.
But still.
It's half of that. The season's almost over.
And I don't get it, man. He literally.
It's not like he's been lacking opportunities.
And it sold Pulisic too because he would have had a goal and an assist. And
imagine having 2-1 going back to Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, that too. Fucking 2-1, 2 away goals. Oh my god.
Plus winning.
That is
that huge. Real Madrid have to go to Stamford Bridge. If that was the case, they'd have to go there and score 2 goals at the minimum.
Yeah, I would feel so much safer about that than having to, all they have to do is get 1. But I mean, oh my god, and it was literally 5-6 yards out. I mean, he literally headed it.
It was inside the 6-yard box.
It's fucking terrible, dude. So that pissed me off. Other than that, I thought our defense played very well. Attack was good. Other than that shit show up front with Timo. And if we play like that again, honestly, I see us going back to Stamford Bridge.
N'Golo Kante.
So-
That was a masterclass by Conte. I'm not gonna lie. That dude was freaking running the midfield. He was running the entire pitch, really.
That's all he does is he sprints everywhere.
He's so quick. Like, he's fast, but like his quickness is what's insane. Like the way he changes directions and shit, and his like little bursts of speed.
Yeah,
Like
I don't talk about Conte that much on here because there's literally like there's not many times where I'm like, what the fuck was he doing? It's like he always is consistent. I think the last time I actually had a problem with Conte was I think against it might have been Man City when we gave up like 3 fucking goals and he was like the last man back on a corner and he tried passing it and like deflected off of a defender and they had a counter or whatever, but literally like that was ages ago it feels like, and he's just played lights out ever since.
Yeah, I know you wanted a win, but a 1-1 with that away goal is definitely. Now you know if you go to Stamford Bridge, you keep a clean sheet, you're on to the final. Yep. That should be the goal now. But I think Pulisic now is actually, I want to say he's the all-time leading scorer for U.S. players in the Champions League now, with like 6 or some shit like that.
Sir.
So that's a very high bar. But but yeah, he's carrying Chelsea as he did at the end of last season. Well, I mean, there's some other good players in there, but from a goal scoring standpoint, he's been on the score sheet a lot lately, and should have a lot more assists as well. But you know who he's playing up top with, so that's how it goes.
Yep. But anyways, that was our Champions League leg. Then we just recently played Fulham and beat them 2-0 with old Kai Havertz brace, which is why he should be starting over fucking Timo. And I know Fulham isn't the best team in the world and they're relegation bound, but still, if you watch the game, Kai Havertz, he made good runs. He timed his runs. He should have had a hat trick if Mount would have played him onside on a cross earlier, but Mount took one extra touch and he ended up being offsides. But it was 2 slide rule balls, and he just slotted them away. It was 1-on-1 with the goalie, and it was little easy tap-ins for him. I also wanted to say Ziyech should have had a goal. Timo made a nice run, crossed it to an unmarked Hakim Ziyech, and he kicked it right at the goalie when he was out of position as well. If he would have just slotted it left corner, easy little tap in, it would have been 3-0, but instead he kicked it right at the goalie and it was 2-0 only. But and then on the other side of the ball, our boy Anthony Robinson actually had a pretty decent game. He had one banger from outside of the box that got saved and then one that went over the bar. But
yeah, I hope he
escapes.
Yeah, I hope he gets away from Fulham, because I mean I could easily see Fulham being a team that goes down and comes right back up. But I don't know. Maybe he needs to go to I know before AC Milan were interested in him, and he actually had that thing where he was literally going to go to AC Milan, and then he had his physical before completing the transfer, and they found some heart problem with him, but that he's gotten fixed since then. But because of that, the transfer broke down. But maybe he can make a move, because you figure you got the World Cup in 2022, and he'll be coming off of a season in the Championship. So I don't know, that wouldn't be good for his career trajectory. Yeah. You know, as a youngster, you go from I want to say he was in League 2 at one point, and then he was up in the Championship, and then he got into the Premier League. You don't want to go back down into the Premier League if you're a guy that is trying to go on the right trajectory for your career, especially if you want to be that long withstanding left back for the national team.
Yeah, because we fucking need one.
Oh, and then also I like how Pulisic has now gone from a couple months ago being dog shit and according to fans, and then not playing at all, to now being rested in the Premier League for Champions League semifinals. So
Tuchel knows how important that man is.
That was nice.
Yeah, all those fucking haters. Silence.
All right, let's move on to the team that played in the Champions League along with Chelsea this week, and that is Manchester City. They faced off against Paris Saint-Germain. A huge win for them, 2-1. They obviously went behind in that game. Marquinhos had a header off of a corner for PSG, and I believe it was the first half. Marquinhos is so good at scoring off headers, even though I think he's only 6'1". It's not like he's a huge dude, but he always seems to score off headers for PSG. But one thing City did do in that game is they kept Neymar and then especially Mbappe at bay. They weren't really able to run wild. I think Mbappe actually had the least number of touches on the pitch with only 30 or 31. And City, they just hung around. They kept it close, and then De Bruyne whipped a beautiful ball into the box. That was a cross for sure, but it was one of those crosses that, if the goalie doesn't come out and play the cross, it's going to go into the net. But then if he does play the cross, a guy can get a header on it, and that's going to be wide open. And so he chose to play the header, which I don't know if it was the right decision. It probably wasn't. But it's one of those. It's really, really tough. He chose to play the header. No City player got a header on it and just kind of curled into that far corner. And then Riyad Mahrez had a nice free kick, but I will have to say, awful defending by the PSG wall. It just went straight through it. Like a dude turned sideways and the ball went right by him, and then into the net. But a huge result for City.
When you're playing on that fucking wall, you gotta be willing to take one of the fucking nuts. All right, because if you don't, that's the shit that happens. You get fucking scored.
If you ain't ready to take some shit, then don't be in the wall.
Fucking wall.
On God. But yeah, so City come back. They get a huge 2-1 win. 2 big away goals to bring back to Manchester.
Oh, did y'all see that TikTok I sent y'all of Kyle Walker talking about
about the red card?
PSG's left back?
Oh, Bakker, yeah.
He was like, who the fuck are you? Fuck off.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who the fuck that guy is either.
Yeah. No. I saw people comparing him to like De Ligt.
All right, what?
Yeah, I don't
stop.
It's like okay,
but the PSG did have that red card, so they'll be without Idrissa Gana Gueye in the second leg. Which, by the way, he's been like that forever because he used to obviously be at Everton a couple years ago and then made the transfer to PSG. And he's a good defensive mid. He stops a lot of attacks. Doesn't really give you much going forward, but that's what he's there for. He's to stop attacks and shit, make tackles. But that red card, it was just so stupid. It was like late in the game. It was a tackle like at midfield where the guy wasn't carrying an attack really or anything dangerous. He just comes through the back at him and just rakes his Achilles. I mean, it steps on his Achilles. A clear red card. Really stupid, but that's what Idrissa Gana Gueye does. I don't know why. He just has a rash challenge in him. He does that shit all the time, and so PSG will be without him in the second leg. Not a super key player for them, but obviously they are better with him in the side, so that should be a help for City. And then obviously 2 away goals. City know if they don't give up 2 goals to PSG, then they go through. They can keep a clean sheet or only give up 1 goal, and they're through. And then obviously, whatever scenario happens if they start to score goals too. But with Neymar, with Mbappe, with Di Maria, which by the way, Di Maria was going to be my man of the match until City ended up winning the game. Then it was probably, I got on City's side, but Di Maria was freaking just running rampant in that first half. Who did City play left back? Cancelo. He was just dusting Cancelo, who's had a really, really good season. And I think is a really good fullback, but he was just dusting him that entire game. And actually shout out to Pep. Cancelo was on a yellow card and wasn't really playing that good. And Pep put in Zinchenko, who is probably not even half the player Cancelo is. He is a solid player, but he's not as good as Cancelo. But what he is a naturally left-footed left back, unlike Cancelo. And so that provided some width, which then at that point, there was more space in the midfield. Both of their goals came from the midfield. De Bruyne whipping it in from the middle, and then Riyad Mahrez, the foul was from the middle of the pitch that they got the free kick on. So that's why Pep is the best in the business. And yeah, City are in really good shape going into that second leg. But like I said, with that front three that PSG has, I mean, it could be 3-0 right now, and I still wouldn't put them out of it. So once again, looking forward to that very much. I think they play tomorrow. Do they play? Yeah, they play tomorrow because they normally flip-flop because Chelsea played on Tuesday last week, so they'll play on Wednesday this week. So, yeah. But then City followed it up with what could have been the last game they had to play before winning the title. Obviously, the deal was this weekend if they beat Palace and United lost to Liverpool, they would be crowned champions. They did beat Palace 2-0, but obviously United didn't play, and so they are not mathematically champions yet. But 2-0 win, straightforward. Not much to talk about. They're a much better side. Palace are very average. No, honestly, Palace are honestly bad. They just have a few decent players like Eze and Zaha are good players, but besides that, the rest of their team's kind of garbage. But yeah, pretty much straightforward. They're going to win the title. They are right now mathematically, unless United make like a crazy goal differential comeback, they are clear of 13 points. So like, with them only having 4 games to go and Man United have 5, I guess. So if Man United did win all 5, technically they would be on 82 points. And if Man City somehow lost out, they'd be on 80. But yeah, they need 1 win, or they need United to lose once between now and the end of the season. And that wraps up the title for them. Let's move on to the other European competition and the 2 sides from the Big Six that played in it. We're going to start off with Manchester United. I was watching the Arsenal game, didn't really watch any of the United game. But I looked up at halftime and I was pissed because Arsenal at the time was down 2-0. And then I see Roma is beating Man United at Old Trafford 2-1. And then I start getting updates. It's all of a sudden 2-2 United, then 3-2 United, and then I look back up at the end of the game. It's 6-2 United. So they obviously came out and just absolutely whipped Roma in the second half. Obviously, if Brian Reynolds was on the pitch, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, it'd been a clean sheet, honestly.
But Roma obviously made a big mistake there. They would have won the game if he was playing. But from what I've heard, is Roma is absolutely terrible this season. I've seen some of their fans say this is the worst side they've had in years. And so United got the job done 6-2. They're going to go to Italy next week. And Roma got those 2 big away goals, but they also gave up 6. So not those away goals don't really matter much. Incoming 4-0 win by Roma next week. But no, they got the job done. Cavani played well. Bruno Fernandes played really, really well. I think he was the man of the match, actually.
Both of them got a brace.
And United it looked very dire at the beginning of the game in the first half, but they pulled it back and got a big victory. A tie is all but done. They just now have to go to Italy next week or this week and just make sure a disaster doesn't happen. Moving on to the other team that played in the Europa League this week, and not as good of a result for them. And by them I mean my Gunners, me and Sling's Gunners, played Villarreal. Just the first 30 minutes, really the first half, but especially the first 30 minutes of the game was just, I mean, it's absolutely pitiful that a team comes out in the biggest game of their season and plays like that.
Yeah, how were the first 30 minutes of that game? I was kind of caught up in like a cap and gown thing. I heard we sucked.
You were playing cosplay or some shit, dressing up?
Yeah, I was playing what's that crap? Like
LARPing? Live action role play, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was well, obviously Villarreal scored very early, like in the 6th or 7th minute.
Yeah,
kind of unfortunate, like the ball like kind of bounced around the box a couple of times and then it fell to a Villarreal player who finished it really well. But then they still had more of the ball, and then the 30th minute they scored again off of a corner. Guy won a flick on. Once again, by the way, it was a perfect corner. But once again, we're losing too many balls in the air. I kind of like Rob Holding overall as like a player, but he's like just not good in the air at all. And he was the one actually that lost that header in the air, and it was a flick onto the back post. And that was Thomas Partey who lost his run on the back post for a tap in at the back post and made it 2-0. And it was looking really, really bad because then we came out in the second half. Danny Ceballos is already on a yellow card, and he comes out in the second half, and in the 50th minute, he commits a foul that honestly, if the ref gave a second yellow for it, I couldn't have complained because it was borderline. It could have easily been a second yellow, but I think the ref said, all right, you know what? Because at the moment it's 2-0. He's like, all right, whatever. I'm not going to ruin the tie because who knows? It could turn into 4-0 now with a red card. But he told Ceballos basically like, yo, look, this is your last one. Next thing that happens, you're gone. I don't understand why Arteta at that point didn't go, okay, get on the fucking pitch. What do you know? 5-6 minutes later, he this one is a little bit more unfortunate because he's just dribbling with the ball, and then I think it was Parejo from Villarreal came in and made a tackle, and Ceballos not trying to do it, not making a challenge, he's just running along with the ball, but his foot just steps on Parejo after he makes the tackle. Totally not intentional or anything, it's just happened to be where he's running. But it is a yellow card, and he got sent off for it. And I saw Arteta after the game said that when Ceballos made that challenge in the 50th minute or so, that he was warming up Martinelli to bring him on, but he just couldn't get him on quick enough. And I don't know, that sounds like a cop-out to me. I know Martinelli did come on, but you've got to get him on quicker than that. I know there were stoppages in play before that challenge happened again. And so for me, I am going to blame Ceballos, but I think it's like 60-40 blame on Arteta. And speaking of Ceballos, before we get on to the rest of the game, I don't know if you saw Sling, but there was a tweet on my TL. You probably didn't see it unless you follow this person, but there's a tweet on my timeline that Danny Ceballos in the Europa League this season has 0 goals, 0 assists, which not very good, but as a midfielder, it's like, okay, at least if you put in good performances, that might be acceptable. But then he has a red card, and he has 4 errors leading to goals. So he has given the other teams 4 goals and has scored and provided no goals for us, plus a red card. So
he basically has 4 assists.
He has 4 assists just for the wrong team. On my mother's life, he's playing against us. He's had one of the worst Europa League campaigns I've ever seen from any individual player, and it is an absolute blessing in disguise that he is out for the second leg. And it seemed like a blessing in disguise at the moment because we're down 2-0, and he goes off the pitch, and all of a sudden we start fucking playing a hell of a lot better, and we were controlling the game. We get a penalty. Gotta say, if that was Villarreal that got that penalty, I would be kind of pissed because it was very, very soft. But at the same time, I've seen very, very soft penalties been given against us, so it is nice to be on the receiving end of it. Saka earned it somewhat, kind of earned it in quotations. And then Pepe does what he does. He put it away. Just right down the middle, really confidently, knew that the goalie was going to guess a certain side. He put it right down the middle and scored. Just a massive away goal. 2-1 Villarreal going into the game. I would have said, fuck that. We need to at least get a draw. But after how bad we were in the first half, and then on top of that to get a red card, if you told me once Ceballos got that red card that we were going to finish the game 2-1, I would have bit your hand off for it. So it gives us a chance. And I have to say, Unai Emery did it again. He did it at Arsenal. They went 2-0 up, and when we got the red card, he brought in a defensive mid for a striker. So instead of going for the jugular and just finishing off the tie, he said, all right, let's just try and win this 2-0 and then go. And nope, we had the pressure on. We got the penalty. We scored. Unai Emery pulled an Unai Emery, and shout out to him for keeping us in the tie. We have a little bit of hope. You have the away goal. If you go to the Emirates, keep a clean sheet and score, you win. You go through to the final. So, yeah, I mean, at least we're still in it. This could have been a lot worse than it was, especially at the time. So we move on to Thursday. Hopefully, we can put a performance that's a hell of a lot better than that at home. But the worry I have is that we've actually been a lot better on the road this season than we have been at home. But at the same time, I don't know if we could be any worse than we were on the road in Villarreal. So Aubameyang should be back. Speaking of that, he obviously didn't start. We didn't have a striker in that game. I thought it was Nicolas Pepe who was going to play striker, but Arteta said, you know what? I saw Pep against PSG play with a false 9 with no real striker. I'm going to do the same. Hey, Arteta, we don't have fucking Kevin De Bruyne. We don't have Ilkay Gundogan. We don't have Bernardo Silva. We don't have wingers like Riyad Mahrez. We don't have
throw.
No. But yeah, we don't have guys from midfield that score goals and make up for you not having a striker. And so we were toothless in attack until Martinelli came onto the pitch. And then that finally provided us with a little bit of impetus up front. And then obviously Aubameyang came in at the end for like 5 minutes. Actually had a chance to score. It would have been an insane snatch and grab if he scored that to make it 2-2. I noticed like all throughout the game, Arsenal players were just slipping and sliding all over the pitch. And Aubameyang actually, as he was hitting that shot, slipped. I don't know if he would have scored it either way. It was a tight angle, but he did. Let's move on from that. We'll move into the next game. Speaking of Aubameyang, he did get the start against Newcastle. Got about 60 minutes. Obviously, trying to get him up to match fitness. I'm sure he'll be starting and hopefully going to 90 against Villarreal next game. He started up top against Newcastle. Pretty good performance from Arsenal. Just a strong, solid performance. It's one of those performances that it's kind of hard to appreciate just because we're playing for nothing in the Premier League at this point. And it's really just pride and then confidence. Obviously it's nice to win going into a big game that's going to be happening on Thursday. But yeah, we won 2-0. We controlled the game. Got an early goal from El Nini. I don't know why, but El Nini when he scores is just straight bangers. It was a decent cross from Bellerin, and Aubameyang kind of scuffed the shot. It was a difficult shot, but kind of scuffed it and it bounced backwards to El Nini on the top of the box, and he just fired it into the bottom left corner, past the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper got a fingertip on it, but couldn't keep it out. And then in the second half, Martinelli, man, for me, he was the man of the match. He's just so direct. He runs at fullbacks and just says, "Yo, look, try and tackle me." And then more than half the time when they try to make a tackle, he just pushes it past him and either draws a foul or runs past him. Yeah. And that's what he did in this certain situation. He got in a good position out wide. Odegaard found him. He took it around the fullback and whipped in a beautiful ball on his weak foot to the back post to Aubameyang for a nice little volley. It was like a volley tap in. It's a goal he should be scoring, but it was a nice goal regardless. And hopefully that gets Aubameyang's confidence back up. Yeah, I mean, it was a good, strong result. In normal circumstances, if we were fighting for anything, that would be a brilliant result. Going on the road to any team in the Premier League and winning 2-0 comfortably is a really good performance, especially Newcastle. Last week I didn't even pick a win because Newcastle have been playing pretty well. But they got the win, got the 2-0 win, had loads of possession, had a lot more shots than Newcastle. I think the XG for the game was like 2.1 for Arsenal to like 0.3 for Newcastle. So it was thoroughly dominated, good performance, and hopefully they can take in that confidence, and then Aubameyang's back on the pitch. I think hopefully Martinelli has to start now for me on Thursday. I know we have some really good players in those wide positions like Pepe and Saka, and then you have Odegaard and Smith Rowe that play behind him, and then Smith Rowe can also play out wide. But Martinelli's been really, really good the past few weeks, and I think just his directness and his ability, his pace and his power, and then the fact too that he tracks back really well. So if we are going to play Xhaka, which please, Lord, I pray that we don't. But even if what I want Saka to play left back against Villarreal, especially considering we need to score goals. And Saka, either one of them, Saka or Xhaka, will need help defensively because they're both not natural fullbacks. And Martinelli, what he does is he does a really, really good job of tracking back defensively, but he still gives you that electric pace and directness up front. So I really hope he starts on the left wing against Villarreal. All right, let's move on to the last game from the Big Six review. Spurs, they faced off against Sheffield United yesterday. Sheffield United are pretty much they're on the beach now. They're relaxing and all before they have to start back up in the Championship next season and try and get back into the Premier League. But Spurs took them to the woodshed. Old Gareth Bale. Old Gareth Bale had his first hat trick for Spurs since 2012. And it will be his last hat trick for Spurs because he will be going back to Madrid from the words from his mouth at the end of the season, fighting for a place back at Real. And but yeah, it was a good result for Spurs. I mean, I guess they are sort of kind of still pushing for top four. They're 5 points off with 4 games remaining. I don't know if they'll do it, but Chelsea do have a couple of tough games remaining, so maybe they'll drop points. But yeah, at the very least, Spurs are securing up a spot for a Europa League finish. Or at least trying to secure that up. And so, yeah, good result for them. Three from Gareth Bale, 1 from Youngman's Son. And yeah, 4-0, pretty much straightforward. Not going to sit on here and gas them up too much because nobody fucking loves it. Yeah, but they got the win. They needed a win. They got it. Job done. Good stuff. Good stuff, Spurs. Fuck Spurs. Fuck you though.
Fuck Spurs.
All right, let's get into our pick results now, Sling. You got the results for the month. We are crowning a champion and loser.
Go ahead and pull it up, bro.
The month of April.
Yeah, so for
our third month of this.
Correct. For the month of April, we had Logan at the top there. I think he had like 25 or 27 points.
You already know what it is, man.
Then Jake and I finished tied for second.
Yeah, so. Battle of the losers.
That's pretty cool.
So, I was your first ever winner. I'm your first ever 2-time winner. I'll be your first ever 3-time winner. I'm just setting records over here.
Logan gets his Mickey Mouse ring.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
They're upset because they missed picking a few games. Apparently that's my fault. I mean, it was their fault for not picking the games. I reminded them both too. I was like, yo, you're not on the pod this week, but make sure you put your picks in. They didn't.
Pick the end, all right?
I don't think I will. But yeah, another W for me. I want to thank my family and friends for always supporting me. I couldn't have done this without them. It's taken a lot of hard work, a lot of years building up into this, a lot of research, a lot of sweat and tears, blood, sweat, and tears, actually.
Fuck you.
And it's taken a lot of mental capacity and just strong. It's just been a strong mentality to get through it. I've had a championship spirit, and I really it's amazing to make history again on this podcast. I'm just a history maker.
I think all of our listeners just logged out of our podcast after all that bullshit.
I think we just upped our listeners because of that.
Yeah.
I think they always said, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
I'm Logan.
I'm sorry.
All right, that was stupid as fuck.
Jake, introduce yourself.
But yeah, Sling and Jake both tied for last. You could say they tied for second, but they really tied for last. So, yeah, it's a lot of loser energy on this pod, but I try to keep it up with the winner energy. So. I try to balance it out.
For sure.
Energy. It's okay.
All right, let's jump into. Let's take a break from the PL action. You know what time it is. It's time for the U.S. men's national team. Let's jump right into that sheet.
Yes, sir. I just want y'all to know, for any of y'all that don't keep up with the U.S., our boys out there simply cannot stop fucking winning trophies in Europe.
It's just a mentality thing.
Yeah, it's some fucking regular shit for us now. It's like another week, another trophy. Oh, okay.
If we don't win a trophy a certain week, I mean, it's just a catastrophe.
Yeah. But anyways, for this week, our boy Brendan Aronson won the Austrian Cup with Salzburg against Lask, L-A-S-K.
I think it's literally just pronounced L-A-S-K.
Yeah, L-A-S-K. He had a beautiful curler for a goal in the second half of a 3-0 victory.
Yeah, beautiful goal. Curled it from the top of the box near post. Really good goal. He's just doing really well for Salzburg. And then speaking of Salzburg, Americans at the club, did y'all see how Jesse Marsch, their coach, is now becoming the coach of RB Leipzig next season?
Leipzig, baby.
So, then the way that the Bundesliga works, he will eventually become the coach of Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
And then in 2026, he'll become the coach of the USMNT national team, and we will win the World Cup. So he's in the perfect trajectory right now as a coach.
I see no flaw in that logic. Anyways, but yeah, speaking of trophies, Tyler Adams and Gio Reyna will be going at it in the DFB Pokal final in a couple of weeks, so that's pretty cool. Look forward to that.
Yep.
2 Americans going head-to-head for some silverware. But yeah, Adams' Leipzig knocked out Josh Sargent and Werder Bremen in the first semifinal, 2-1 in extra time. Meanwhile, Reyna and Dortmund thrashed a 2 Bundesliga side, Holstein Kiel, 5-0. Gio bagged a first half brace in the game before being subbed off at halftime, presumably to rest him for the games ahead.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing. I mean, the guy gets a brace in the first half, and you sub him at halftime. Let the motherfucker get his first ever professional hat trick. But he's someone that's been in really good form lately. Gio, scoring goals, getting assists. He obviously started off the season really well, and then went through like a stretch of like several months really where he wasn't playing as good, and then on top of that, he just wasn't providing any goals and assists. But over the last month or so, he's gotten back at it. And then, Adams actually didn't play in that game. Presumably, was probably being rested. I think he's probably played like 10 straight games for Leipzig. He's always on their team sheet. But he didn't play in that game against Werder Bremen. Josh Sargent started and went the full 120. I believe Sargent actually missed like a very, very good chance in regular time that could have won it for Werder Bremen. So that's unfortunate. I heard he did. Like, I didn't actually see the highlight. I was looking for it, but I couldn't find it. And then I was like kind of lazy. I was like, fuck it, I'm just not gonna look for it anymore. But I believe he like did really good work to get into position to score, but then just didn't score. So a little unfortunate for him. I saw pictures of him. He looked like he was about to die. Like at the end of the game, that man looked absolutely gassed playing those 120 minutes. And then just for it to be 1-1 in the 121st minute, and Wang Hee-chan scored the winner for RB.
Wang Hee-chan,
the 21 legend.
Yes, sir. The pace monster himself.
Yeah, so it will be a guarantee, though, that in a couple of weeks, they don't play this weekend, they play next weekend, that we will have another trophy coming home to the American boys. And this upcoming week, Zach Steffen could be winning a trophy with Man City, the Premier League. So
yeah.
It's just, what is this, like 3 or 4 straight weeks we've won a trophy in Europe, and then it'll be a couple more weeks, 6 straight weeks of winning trophies, It is what it is. Just regular shit here.
Slight shit here.
And the week after that, and the week after that.
Yeah. And the next day.
And then the next day.
But yeah, our boy Owen Otasowie finally saw some time again earlier today for Wolves. The midfielder started in a 1-1 draw against West Brom. He played a pivotal part in Wolves' lone goal with some nice footwork and a decisive pass.
Yeah, good to see him playing again. I want to say the last time he played was either late December or early January for Wolves, and it was like a appearance off the bench. And he actually, and I believe that game was the one where he had like a golden opportunity for a header to either draw or win the game, and he missed it. And ever since then, he hasn't played. I don't really know why because he was playing consistently off the bench at that time. And then ever since then, he's literally just not played a single minute. And so I don't know what it is, but he got his opportunity to start today. Played well from what I've seen. His part in that goal was nice. He dribbled past the defender, then opened up his body and slid a ball through that led to a nice pass for the goal. And I saw Wolves fans on Twitter kind of talking about, kind of ratting on the manager, Nuno Espirito, saying that there was a few. It wasn't just Otasowie. There was a few Wolves youngsters that played in that game that played pretty well. And they were upset because apparently Nuno's thing is he always plays the older guys, and obviously Wolves haven't played that good this season, so they haven't been performing very well. And the young guys kind of injected some energy and some pace into this game, and apparently played pretty well. Although it didn't end up in a victory for Wolves, but it seems like Otasowie had a good game.
Yeah, it's good to see. Finally, he gets some more playing time. But yeah. Our man Conrad De La Fuente, his stock just keeps going up.
He's got a fast name.
Yeah.
De La Fuente.
He kept his pace with a strong run from over the weekend with another goal for Barca B. He now has 4 goals and 2 assists in the last 5 games as he continued to garner interest from several clubs across Europe, including Hertha Berlin, Monaco, Nice, and Dortmund.
Yeah, and they said there's several teams also in Spain that are looking at him too. I don't think he'll be at Barcelona much longer. We talked about it last week. There's too many good players in those wide positions at Barcelona and young players as well, with like Fati and Pedri and guys like that are going to be at Barca for a while. And Conrad, if it's best for him, he needs to make a move. And I'd be fine with any of those teams. They're all Hertha Berlin are probably the worst, but they're at least like a halfway decent German side. And then Monaco and Nice are decent teams in the French league. And then Dortmund, obviously, they've had a really good history with young players and especially just young U.S. players in general.
So Geo link up,
especially if like maybe Sancho, maybe he left for someone else this summer. If that were to happen, then I'd be cool with Conrad going there. I don't know if he'll start right away, but he should at least get some playing time.
PT.
Starting to fucking sweat in this damn place.
Yeah, it's really hot in this bitch. Yeah, but a couple exciting youngsters in the MLS kept up with the highlights over the weekend. Teenager Caden Clark once again scored another banger, firing a volley in from around 15 yards out in a win over the weekend for the New York Red Bulls. The kid's
that's all he scores. He just scores straight bangers.
Yeah, he's looking kind of special.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what he does and if he can go anywhere. But yeah, another one. 17-year-old Cade Cowell also got on the score sheet yesterday for his club, the San Jose Earthquakes. He already has 5 goal contributions through the first 3 games of the MLS season.
Yeah, he's the one that I'm most excited about. I've watched him. He's only 17. I think Caden Clark's only 18. Both of them are very exciting youngsters. But Cowell, like when I watch him, he is very, very good. Like I don't see any scenario where he's still in MLS after this season. He looks just only at 17 years old. He just looks like the best player in the pitch when he's on the ball. He's very quick. He's very direct with the ball. He's a really, really good dribbler. And then obviously, 5 goal contributions in 3 games. He seems like a good finisher and good with that final ball as well so far. So do not be surprised if you see him moving into Europe after this MLS season, sometime in the summer maybe.
Yes, sir. But yeah, someone else to watch, center back Justin Shea has officially broken through into the first team at Bayern Munich. He obviously has not made his debut yet, but just recently he started to train with the first team at the club. Definitely someone to watch for in the future.
Yeah, he broke through with the first team earlier than Chris Richards did. I think it took Richards until he was about 19 to break through, which was, I think, last season. And we all rate Richards very highly as like a future center back for the club. Shea did it 2 years earlier. From everyone that I've heard at Bayern Munich, seen on social media, online and everything, he's much further along than Richards was at that age. Obviously, 2 years ahead of him with that trajectory. And yeah, the only problem I have is that apparently like Germany really likes him, and he is a dual national. And so he is one of those guys that, yes, we want him to play for the national team, and he does have American roots, but he could also play for the German national team too. So we gotta keep him and somehow
forcefully cap tie his ass.
we need to try and get that guy locked up, because it seems like him and Richards could be a potential duo. Once John Brooks Brooks is still only like in his late 20s. He's not real old, and for a center back, he probably still has 5 or 6 good years left in him. But once he's done, and just more of like an athletic, because Brooks is not very athletic. If we were to face a team that has some like extreme pace up top, Shea and Richards are a lot more athletic than him. And so you could be looking at Shea and Richards. You could be looking at the future center back pairing for the U.S. men's national team. Let's hope we get him locked up, and then hopefully, don't want to like hype him up too much at the beginning. He's not even played a single first team game for him. It's obviously very good. You're very good if you're training at 17 years old with Bayern Munich's first team, but we got to take it one step at a time, and hopefully he continues to push his career along.
Yeah, and then we already talked about our the GOAT Pulisic earlier on the pod with his goal against Real Madrid in the first leg of the Champions League.
Mentioned Anthony as well.
Yeah. Pretty sexy. Cannot lie.
Yeah, beauty.
All right, let's get out of the U.S. men's national team rundown. Let's get back into the Big Six talk. But before we get into that, you know what time it is. We got to get into the Sling Speak section of the pod. Sling, take us away.
All right. So, as we've talked about a lot here on the podcast, online abuse in football. I'm sure you guys saw this pretty recently, but in one of the most pointless, useless like efforts to stop online abuse over there, a bunch of like English football like media accounts or whatever went silent on social media.
That is no chill. That's officially stopped racism and
Yeah, I was about
abuse
to say,
online.
dude.
That single-handedly stopped it.
I just want to discuss and like kind of ask, what the fuck do they think they're stopping?
I think they somehow think that when they come back, because I think they're supposed to come back today at some point. I think they did probably already. I mean, if they're not coming back today, it's either today or tonight at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
But they just think that they're no longer going to get like hate comments and shit. Like, there's pieces of shits out there regardless. I don't. Being off Twitter for 3 days, being off social media for 3 days is not going to change anything. So yeah, that's just weird.
For me, that's the same.
There were trolls working during that time who were throwing out racist insults and other bullcrap at those players during that time. I don't really understand what they thought they were stopping with that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe they had the right intentions behind it, but like, it does nothing. I don't get it.
It's the same equivalent for me as like that whole what was it, Black Tuesday, where like everybody posted.
Oh yeah, Black Square for Black Sun. Oh yeah, that solved racism.
Wow, dude. What
yeah,
the fuck
everybody
is
posts
that
a Black Square to your Instagram, and it's going to stop racism.
Yeah. Everyone posts that little black thing, Black Square with the stop online abuse to your Instagram, and we will no longer have people abusing players.
Yeah, I guarantee you that white fucking like Nazi lover that lives in the woods out in fucking who knows where. I guarantee you that Black Square on Instagram.
Oh yeah, he's no longer racist now.
Yeah, exactly.
These idiots on Twitter that like continuously like tell players that their fucking kids or I hope their kids die.
Yeah.
Obviously, seeing that Arsenal didn't tweet the last 3 days, they'll no longer tweet shit.
Yeah, they saw that and they were shaking.
Like, oh my god, I have to change. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. That was so fucking pointless. And I don't know. Yeah, I get the. I'm not complaining about like the meaning behind it, but just what they did, it's just pointless. It makes no sense. It's not going to stop anything.
My last message to kind of finish that off is real action does not happen without, or real change does not happen without real action. Not posting or posting like a blank square or something stupid like that doesn't
bring for president.
Real action is going to do that. So otherwise, without action, like nothing's going to happen. So,
that's inspirational.
Keep in mind, you social media outlets.
Sling for president 2024. Let's go.
I'm here for it.
I mean, he's like mentally here with us.
Yeah. Oh, dude, we won't even get into that.
We're not getting into politics.
No, we don't need to talk about politics.
Yeah, we got to keep politics out of this shit.
All right, let's move back into the Premier League action. Let's move back into the Big Six action. We will actually start off away from the Premier League. We're going to start off in the midweek. Some big games coming up for 4 teams. And well, I would say 3 because United, I guess, is a big game, but they pretty much already wrapped the tie. But let's start in the Champions League. Obviously, like we said, the games flip around this week. So City, they host PSG on Tuesday, tomorrow evening, local time. They're in Manchester, but big 2-1 lead already on aggregate. PSG, they're going to come swinging. They're not going to hold anything back. I know you got that notification saying that Mbappe's a doubt. I think that's cap. But if that is true and he doesn't play, then I mean I don't see any situation where PSG come back. But
if he does play, though, I think this is like the hardest pick of the week.
Yeah, I can see this going any way, like any certain because I could see PSG really coming at them and getting hit on the counter and then like losing 3-0 because eventually like if they go down like 1-0 or 2-0, they might just say fucking just give up, lose 3 or 4-0. But then at the same time, I could see the different thing happening. I could see them coming at them, just dominating them, winning the game 2 or 3-0. And then I could also see a very close game, which is probably more than likely what's going to happen. I am going to go with, I think, I'm going to go with a 2-1 City win. Again, I'm going to say it's 1-1 for a while, and then PSG have got to the last 5 or 10 minutes of the game, they've got to push everyone forward to try and get that equalizer to send it into extra time, and then City counterattack off of that and score 2-1 and seal up the tie. I'm going 2-1 City.
Very interesting.
I think that City has the momentum here, and they're also at home. We're talking about Idrissa Gana is not going to be playing in this leg, and Mbappe, with him being questionable,
he's probably at least not 100%.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm curious to see that if he does start, if he goes the full 90, or if he doesn't start, if they're going to sub him on. So I'm actually going to go City 2-0.
Oof, that would be one hell of a result for City.
Yeah.
Sling, what you got?
God damn, y'all came swinging with City.
Sling is low-key a PSG fan, so...
I do. I really like Neymar.
That fucking flopping crybaby.
You're a piece of fucking shit. What do you...
Takes one to know one, pal. Takes one to know one.
I'm going to get... I like this be a close game. The Mbappe thing kind of wears me for PSG.
Well, I'm pretty sure he got injured actually a couple weeks ago and injured his ankle, but then he was back for the first leg, and then maybe he re-aggravated the injury again, and maybe that's why he's a question for the game.
I'm gonna pick the safe bet here. I'm gonna pick a 1-1 draw.
Either way, we all got City going through in the end.
Yep.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, Chelsea versus Real Madrid. Will according to us, will it end up an all English final? I think it will. I'm gonna give Chelsea the edge. Shit.
Don't you go back on it now, motherfucker.
Oh man, I don't know. I watch Real Madrid and like I think they have some really good midfielders like Kroos and Modric. They don't score you goals though. I think Benzema is fantastic, but he's the only one that I can see like really taking over a game and scoring. Like Vinicius, he does some good like cool dribbles and shit, and he's athletic. But outside of the game against Liverpool, every single time I watch him, he has zero end product. I don't even know who their other winger is. What is it like? Because Vasquez wasn't playing. I don't think Asensio started either. Who the fuck was their other winger? Or did they have Vinicius and Benzema up top together? Maybe that's what it was. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is Ramos going to be back for this game? Because I know he didn't play. Question. Is Hazard?
Very good question.
Is he going to play? I didn't even think about that. What if he pulls some magic back? I will say, if Real Madrid win this tie, I think Hazard has a part to play in it. I think that he could be a very big part as to if they win or lose this tie. But with that being said, I'm going to go with a yikes.
This is a very long pick,
dude. I'm split. I'm torn at this decision. I'm gonna go with a.
Really, Jake?
I'm going 1-1. I'm going 1-1. I'm like we do in this situation. We pick our full 90-minute score. I'm gonna go 1-1, and then Chelsea finds a way to win it either in extra time or on penalties. But I'm gonna go 1-1 as my 90-minute final score.
Okay. As my 90-minute final score, I'm going to go Chelsea's going to win 1-0. We're going to get one goal, and then we're just going to sit back and defend our fucking asses off.
Set up shop.
Yep. And that's that.
What you got, Slim?
4-0
Real Madrid.
I'm not going with that crazy score shit. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to say 1-0 as well, but I'm going to go with Real Madrid.
You're a coward.
Sling always picks against Chelsea. I love it.
And he gets shit on. Ever since
no, I'm not gonna. I can see anything happen. I can see this being a draw. I can see Chelsea winning. I can see Real Madrid.
Dude, I'm telling you, if we play anything like we played in the first leg, we win this fucking game.
Dude, I don't know. Real Madrid. It's just with a guy like Benzema up top, you never know. And yeah, I mean, if you start Timo, that might be it.
Yeah, can we fucking start Kai, please? All
right, anyways, let's pick this meaningless game, to be honest. United versus Roma. They're up 6-2 on aggregate. I'm going 4-0 Roma. They come back and win. No. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Roma win. No.
So I say, what?
No, I'm just thinking because like United probably know that the fucking tie is over.
Are they going to play their C team? Like, holy shit!
No, they're not going to. No, I'm sure they'll play their A team because if you go there and play like a B or C team and then some crazy shit happens, like that's literally grounds for being fired immediately. But I'm gonna go for a draw. I'm gonna go 1-1 draw.
I was thinking about that, but I don't think Manchester United draws or loses this game. I'm gonna go that they win this. I want to say a comfortable 2-0, but I could also see Roma getting one.
It kind of depends. Like, does Roma come out actually thinking they have a chance to like do some crazy shit, or do they come out and they're just like, "Fuck it, let's just get this game done"?
If United scores, then it's just all.
Yeah, it's true. It probably depends on who scores the first goal of the game.
So I'm gonna say
2-1.
United wins this comfortably 2-0.
Fuck, that's what I had.
Sure you did.
Well, I want Jake to pick 2-1 because I would have had 2-0 down for United.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Hey, fuck you. Quit copying my picks.
Yeah,
Arsenal versus Villarreal. Villarreal. Big game for Arsenal. Big game for Mikel Arteta. I don't know if he gets sacked if he loses this game, or I mean, he doesn't have to lose it if he doesn't win this tie. I don't know if that'll get him sacked. Because from what I've seen is it seems like the people higher up in the club trust his like long-term vision and everything. And regardless of what happens in this tie, he'll probably still have the job. But for me, as someone who has defended Arteta for a while now, even though there's been some backlash against him, if he loses this tie, um, I don't know. I'm completely fine if he gets sacked if he loses this tie. I'm not going to sit here and say fire him if he loses the tie. Now, if we lose like 3-0, fuck him, fire him. But if we like lose the tie, I will be at the point where whatever happens with him. I won't have any opinion. If he gets fired, he gets fired. Cool. It's not like he doesn't deserve it. If he keeps his job, all right, whatever. We continue to hopefully turn it around next season and start heading in the right direction. But for me and for a lot of the at least for a lot of the fan base, if he loses this, I think a lot of people want to see him gone, and I totally understand that. Sling, what do you? What would be your starting lineup? Because obviously we have David Luiz is out injured, Tierney's still out injured, Lacazette's still out injured. I think that might be it. I think.
I think you.
So what are you lining up with?
I mean, I feel like you got to throw a bombing up there up top.
Let's start a goalie.
I mean, Leno.
Okay, and then do your back line.
I kind of liked Saka back there.
Yeah. I think the Xhaka experiment is kind of.
Yeah, no, I don't
know. It's all right when he faces like players that aren't gonna that don't have like extreme pace and don't attack them, but like Villarreal, one of their better players is Chukwueze, who's a winger for them.
Mm-hmm.
He has a hell of a lot of pace and he's very skillful. And yeah, at least with Saka, even though he's not a defender, so he doesn't have great defensive qualities, but at least he has good. He's pacey and quick, where he can at least jockey the guy down the line and not get beat by him.
Yeah.
You got a right back.
Right back.
This is interesting for one for me too.
I mean, I think if Cedric's healthy, throw him out there with Pepe.
Even though he hasn't played it all in the last few weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't really like Bellerin with
that's a big call.
Pepe.
Because obviously Chambers has been playing there, but I don't know. Especially when we need goals this game, I'd rather have a right back that gets forward more often.
Have Holding and then Gabriel there at center back.
You're going Gabriel instead of Mari.
Yeah, I don't really fuck with Mari that heavy. I don't know.
Oh, I did actually hear that Holding is apparently now a doubt too, because he wasn't even on the bench against Newcastle. So it could be. Yeah, shoot. Just keep going. Keep going. I'll get mine as well.
My midfield.
Who's your two holding mids?
Yeah, Xhaka, and then I'm probably going Party, even though he can't fucking score anymore. And then,
well, at least he's a holding midfielder. It's annoying to see him sky everything, but it's not really what he's there to do.
Yeah, and then Odegaard's back, so he'll be able to sit up there. If not him, then Smith Rowe. Unless we want to throw Smith Rowe at left wing if Saka plays back. Then Pepe out wide, and then Aubameyang up top. That's kind of what I think you have to kind of roll.
So you're going Smith Rowe on the left, Odegaard in the 10, Pepe at the right, and then Aubameyang up top?
Yeah. That's if Saka plays back. Otherwise, if they throw someone else.
Well, I'm just saying, what would you go with? Not what would Arteta do? Because, I could easily see Arteta keeping Xhaka there, which I hope he doesn't do that, but I could see it happening. Right. For me, I'd definitely go with Leno in goal, although I really like the way Matt Ryan played against Newcastle. I hope we sign him up permanently. Yeah, he plays for Arsenal now. Right now. During his offseason with the Falcons, he comes over to England and plays some goalie. But now Leno still stays in goal. He actually made a really nice save. He made one really nice save in that game against Villarreal to keep it at 2-0, and then a couple of times he came off his line to cut off angles to strikers, which is very underrated. It might not show up on the stat sheet as a save, but when you're cutting off angles and forcing them to go around you to the byline to where they just have to kind of chip in a ball back into the back post or whatever, that's almost a save in its own right. And so yeah, Leno starts for me. Right back, I'm going Bellerin. I don't know if I can go with the only reason I'm doing this is because even though I've said I don't rate Bellerin, I don't know what the hell. Ever since that dude has gone vegan, he's lost like 3 steps of pace. The guy can't really cross a ball. But Cedric hasn't played in weeks now. I don't think you go from not playing in weeks to all of a sudden starting the biggest game of the year. And then Chambers, he's solid for me, but there's 2 things. Number one, Chambers is the worst of the 3 going forward just because he's not natural at it, although he probably whips a better cross in. Actually, no, not probably. He does whip a better cross in than Bellerin, but he's not good at like the link-up play like Bellerin and good at taking the ball forward and doing all that shit that Bellerin is actually pretty decent at. And then number 2 is I think Holding might be out. And if Holding is out, we only have one right-footed center back, and that's Chambers. I think Chambers has to start at center back for me. And then next to Chambers, I'd put Gabriel. Just because I think we're going to have a lot of the ball. We're going to be the ones going forward. Gabriel is a really athletic center back. And so when you get hit on the counter, it's kind of like what happened against Newcastle. Newcastle, they have St. Maximin and Callum Wilson, both 2 strong, pacey forwards up top. And there was multiple times where we had the ball in that game yesterday that they would counterattack and throw balls or obviously kick balls into the channels. And Gabriel kept step for step with those guys, and they weren't able to get to the ball. So I like his pace. I like his pace back there over Mari. And that's the reason why I'm going pace because of counterattack situations. And so Chambers, if Holding is healthy, I probably go with Holding. But if he's not, which the rumor is he might not be, then I go with Chambers at center back. Left back, I'm the same. I don't want to see Xhaka there. Not against Chukwueze. I think he's too pacey and tricky for Xhaka. Mm-hmm. I also think with Ceballos out, well, hell, with Ceballos anyways, some fucker has been awful in Europa League.
Yeah.
I want Xhaka back in the midfield anyways. And another thing for me is Martinelli has played fantastic, and to open up a spot for him is another reason why I want to put Saka back there at left back. And so my double pivot in midfield is obviously Xhaka and Partey. That's self-explanatory. I'm going Martinelli on the left, Pepe on the right. And I'm going with Smith Rowe down the middle. I don't think Odegaard played very good in that first leg. I thought he was okay yesterday, but he wasn't great. And I think Smith Rowe just provides us with like a little bit more pace and directness than Odegaard. I wouldn't be upset at either one starting, to be fair. Yeah. And then obviously Aubameyang up top. But getting into the scores now that we've kind of previewed the game, I'm getting to the scores. I'm going to go. I already made my score on the way over here. I had my score in my mind. I'm going 2-0 Arsenal. I think they come out, they get it done 2-0. I think it's 1-0 for a while, and then Villarreal, knowing they have to score, we counterattack them sometime in the second half and then get that second one. And I think we hold out, get the clean sheet, and move on to the final. And I think it's going to be 2 all-English finals, which would be kind of crazy. That'd actually be 2 out of 3 years, because 2 years ago it was Liverpool somehow versus Spurs. Don't ask me how the fuck they got the Champions League final. And then Arsenal versus Chelsea, and I think it could happen again.
All right.
What you got, Sling?
I think the last time we came out down on the aggregate, back against the wall, or we might have been tied, whatever the case was. We came out and beat the shit out of
Racismo FC.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm gonna say we do the same thing. I'm gonna go 3-0 Arsenal.
I already know Jake's coming out. He's got a fucking look on his face. This motherfucker's smirking. He's trying not to laugh. He's gonna.
He's just a stupid fucking anyway. So
it's gonna be elite jokes on this podcast when Chelsea get knocked out and Arsenal go through.
I don't know. I feel like they've got some dog in them when they get their backs against the wall.
What's the thing? I think when we have when we have to go out and attack, when we have to play freely, we play so much better than when we play like with a handbrake on almost. And so, yeah, I agree. I think we'll score a few goals.
I don't see why not. Let's get it.
I am still always worried about a mistake or our defense doing some stupid shit and letting up a goal or two. Let me sit up for this one.
Dumb fuck.
So, Sling likes to pick against Chelsea a lot, and I don't rate that. I don't see why. I mean, time and time again we prove him wrong. He still picks against us. It's wild. But yeah, no. Villarreal up 2-1 the first game. I think this is where Arsenal's luck runs out. I'm saying it's a 1-1 draw. And
God damn.
And Villarreal goes through.
Somebody was upset at that draw or at that pick.
Damn it!
God damn it!
Yeah, I got a 1-1 draw.
1-1. All right.
What a coward!
Slokey mokey dokey.
Holy shit! How fucking stupid can you be?
Who?
Nobody falls for that anymore.
I think we're all adults. We don't fall for that stupid shit anymore. All right.
Well, we just become adults a few weeks ago, I guess, because we did fall for that shit. All right. Anyways, fuck it. Let's get onto the weekend, back into the Premier League action. We'll start off with Spurs versus Leeds. I believe they're the first game, either the first or second game in the Premier League over the weekend. Spurs travel to Leeds. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with a Spurs win just based off of the last couple of games they've played fairly well. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Spurs win.
You're real nailed by over here.
It's also my scoreline, 2-1 Spurs.
What do you guys think?
I'm trying to think here.
Over there getting fucking distracted and shit.
I'm gonna go with Leeds. But I'm gonna go.
This man's like is a hater, and I respect it. He always picks against Chelsea and Spurs.
2-1 Leeds.
All right. Well, I will be picking against Chelsea here.
Yes, wait up.
Chelsea travel to Manchester City, a game in which Man City can win the Premier League title if they win the game. I think that's what they'll do. It's going to feel like a final for them because they can win the title. I think Chelsea are going to be coming. I mean, both are going to be coming off of intense games during the week in the Champions League. But I think City will really, really be up for it. One, with it being at home, and then two, you can hoist the trophy afterwards. I think they win the game 2-0.
Interesting.
That's right.
Yep. No, hell no. City won the game 2-0.
Oh, okay.
Fuck you mean?
Making sure.
I ain't picking those bums to win 2-0.
Oh.
Fuck you mean?
Wasn't sure if I heard that wrong or not. I just wanted to double check. Jake?
That's crazy because I do have Chelsea winning 2-0.
Oh my god, no you don't.
Yes, sir.
No you don't.
Yes, I fucking
No
do.
you don't.
Yep, put it down, Sling. Write it the fuck down.
Bro, this guy wants to start off this month horribly.
Write
God
that
damn.
shit down. 2-0 Chelsea, baby.
Dude, if they win that game, I will come. Because next week will be the first. Wait, are y'all gonna be back in town next week on Monday? Or you're still gonna be in Charleston?
What's that date?
Oh, Donnie. Donnie should be
I think I'm
back.
going to be back in town on the 9th.
Okay, well that's on the 10th. I will show up next week to the podcast butt ass naked if Chelsea win 2-0.
Oh, bet on that.
And that will be the
Everybody
first.
heard that shit.
That will be the first podcast that we're posting on YouTube with video.
Bet
I don't
on
give a
that.
shit if I get banned. I'm showing up butt naked.
What if we win 3-0?
No, the only deal is 2-0. You're perfectly right.
Wow, that's pussy right
If
there.
they win 3-0 or better, I will change my
Gender.
username on fuck. I will change my username on Twitter to like something Chelsea related. I don't even know what I'll change.
Oh yeah,
I'll change my profile pic to a picture of Drogba, and then I'll change my profile name to some other shit.
9 or some shit like that.
Yeah, Chelsea Lover 69.
yes sir. All right, bet on that.
Maybe not Chelsea Lover 69 because I have adults that follow me on Twitter, so I can't do the 69 shit.
God.
But I will 100%. If they win, no, fuck it.
68.
Because the naked shit isn't realistic. But
whoa, we're family, man.
if Chelsea wins 2-0 or better, I will for a week until from that podcast on Monday until the podcast that next Monday. I will change my profile picture on Twitter to Drogba and then change my profile name.
2-0 or better?
2-0 or better, yep.
Bet on that.
1-0 doesn't count.
All right. That's fine.
Oh my god.
I say if they win by 2 goals or more, so if it's like 3-1, still doing it.
Okay.
We're going to have to write this all down. This is...
No, I will 100% keep mine in the bargain.
All right, cool. Cool.
It's like, what do you have for the game?
I'm going to max your 2-0 Logan. 2-0 City.
You going 2-0 Logan?
2-0 Logan, yeah. 2-0 Logan's bet against Jake's bet.
2-0 Logan's naked ass. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, Liverpool obviously had this week off due to the madness in Manchester, but they're back this week, hosting Southampton, as Wenyul says. Yeah, I mean, I think they get the win here. They're fighting for top 4. This is obvious. Like they have to win every single game between now and the end of the season, in my opinion, to have a real shot. Yeah, I think they are going to get the victory royale 2-0.
I think they win this very comfortably. I'm saying they win 3-0.
Oh my god!
We got 4 in this bitch, or
No, we got 1 in this bitch. I'm gonna go 1.
all right.
1-0 Liverpool.
All right, jumping on to Sunday. United, they travel to Aston Villa to take on the Fighting Jack Grealishes, although I'm pretty sure he's still not playing. And because of that, I probably would have gone with United either way. But I am going to go with a Manchester United win. What do I want to go with?
I know.
I'm gonna go with a 1-0 United victory.
Fucker. Right.
You motherfuckers.
Well, I'm gonna go. Damn it! I'm gonna go 2-1 United.
I'm gonna go 2-0 United.
Moving on to the biggest game of the weekend.
Oh my god.
Mid-table versus relegation, and no, the mid-table is Arsenal. Jake, you fucking bastard.
I didn't say anything.
Coward, fuck you.
Anyways, we beat them 4-0 earlier in the year. Beat the Baggies 4-0 at West Brom earlier in the year. Don't believe it's gonna be 4-0 this time. Really couldn't give a single shit about this game, but I will watch either way. And yeah, I'm gonna go for Arsenal win. I think we win 2-0.
2-0.
We know how to beat West Brom, unlike Chelsea.
I'm gonna go 3-0. Arsenal get 2 3-0 results this week and they'll win both of them.
I would probably do some dirty shit right now for that to happen.
Well, that's what's gonna happen. So get ready to do some dirty shit.
I'll do what it takes. It would be selfish of me not to do it.
Whatever. Yeah.
Interesting that y'all think so low of West Brom.
Number one gooner over here.
I mean, they are getting relegated, so
yeah.
I know they beat the shit out of Chelsea, but Chelsea is it's 2 small clubs going at it. Arsenal's a big club. Give us your fucking scoreline, bit. We're trying to wrap up this pod.
I'm going 2-0. 2-0.
Arsenal.
Wet Arsenal.
Yeah. All right. That's enough PL talk for the week. We're getting to the end of the pod. Before we get out of here, obviously, we got to give our winners and losers of the week. My winner is Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale, I don't like to big up a Spurs player, but he got his first Hattie for Spurs since 2012. And the main reason I'm giving him a winner is because that's going to be his last hat trick for Spurs. He already has said that he's going back to Real Madrid after the season to go fight for a spot back there again. So shout out Gareth. I don't dislike you too much, but I had to dislike you a little bit. I had to dislike you a little bit this year because you're playing for Spurs, but I can go back to rooting for you next season. So big up my boy Gareth.
Who's my winner for this week? Honestly,
me.
I'm probably. Yeah, my winner of this week is Sling.
We're always picking against.
Shout out to Sling. No, fuck that. My winner is I'm gonna go with Pulisic for scoring a fucking huge goal in the Champions League and just as per like fucking just shining out as of late. I would say like Americans in general that are overseas, but this one hits home more because he's a Chelsea.
Well, it's the end of the season, so he thinks it's the playoffs, so it's time to turn up.
Yeah, it's time to turn the fuck up. So he's my winner.
My winner for the week is the protesters at the Manchester United game earlier this week.
Those criminals
for coming in there and having a fucking blast.
Kick the ball around on one of the greatest pitches in the world.
Ball around.
Get some selfies in.
Just rack up the felonies. So it's like a lot of fun.
Get some TikToks rolling.
Yeah. And then my loser of the week is Manchester United and Liverpool, who did not get to play that game.
My loser, this is tough, man. I think my loser is, man, it hurts me to say this, but I'm going to say Fulham because I was backing them this entire podcast to be the ones to escape relegation.
Yeah, it's just disappointing.
And I think they have just solidified
fucked
themselves to being that third team that gets
They would probably have to win every single game between now and the end of the season, and they need Newcastle to lose a few games.
And I don't see that happening. So they're my losers for finally just securing the relegation.
We were rooting for you, Fulham, and you
fucked us.
It's just disappointing. I'm not sad. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah,
I'm just disappointed.
Disappointed, Dad.
My loser this week was the cowards on the pitch in Villarreal that decided they'd come up and just stroll along the pitch for the first 45 minutes in that game last Thursday. I already talked about them. Don't want to talk about them more. Mikel Arteta is along with that. Just a horrible performance for the majority of that game. But they have a chance to – they hung on. They have a chance to make it right this week. So hopefully you guys need to be my winners next week.
Word.
All right, let's get into the end of the pod, wrapping up the pod. Before we get out of here, we got to tell the people what we learned this week. I'll kick it off. I learned that college is fake. It's a scam if Sling can graduate from it. So if you're in high school right now and you're thinking about going to college, don't do it because – actually, no, do it because Sling is proof that literally anyone can do it.
You can do Sling.
You're one
fucker. I'm going to do his ass.
You can do anything in life. So, look, if you think you're not smart enough for college, you are, okay? Sling was able to do it, so you can do anything in life if you put your mind to it.
Anyway, hey, Sling.
Blind.
Playing football. Blind.
I learned just now, actually, that the next time that Sling sees Logan again, he's going to bounce his fucking head off of the pavement again.
Oh, my God.
Just like he did multiple times in the past to give him CT.
Oh, my God.
Again.
Oh, my God.
Again. I just learned that it's going to happen again.
Yeah. Also, what I just learned is that Jake is also a capping bastard, just like Sling. This has never happened before, and it will never happen. Over my dead body, it won't happen. I will come back from the death.
It's already happened
and,
once.
And not let that happen.
I had to bring you back to life.
Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible cap.
Dumbass.
What'd you learn, Sling?
I learned that you're a brave son of a bitch for saying that.
I'm a brave son of a bitch. Oh,
yeah. What else I learned? Oh, I learned at the bars the other night that my dad is a horny bastard and needs to be contained.
Hey, shout out to John.
I learned that he's starving. I'll leave it at that.
He's down astronomically.
Look, he knows he doesn't have a lot of years left, especially in his prime, which is right now. His prime.
Yeah, he's Tom Brady. He's getting better with age.
All right, God damn. How many times are you going to cough in one podcast?
Why don't we go ahead and get another message alert while we're at it?
That's true.
Fuck.
All right, anyways, that comes to the end of the pod. Nice little pod this week. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Shout out to all of our concurrent viewers that are tuning in for another time. And if anybody's new, thank you very much for making it this far. If you have enjoyed the podcast, leave us a review down below. Subscribe to the podcast. We release new pods every single Monday. Late Monday evening releases here in the U.S. Probably really Tuesday morning releases over in Europe. Give us a listen while you're going to work, while you're working out, while you're in the bathroom, while you're doing things in the bedroom, whatever it is. Give us a listen whenever. That's why podcasts are so beautiful. Also, follow us on social media. We are on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Clueless Yanks on all those platforms. Just look us up. You'll find us. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and we will catch you all next week.
Adios, y'all.
Sayonara.
Take it easy, everyone.